Hi, Professor Hagemeyer. This is my final presentation reflection. Please forgive me if I seem anxious or nervous. I tend to speak better almost in class in front of people than I do in videos. A little bit photogenic maybe, I don't know. um, I don't have any notes on my screen. Please take my word for it. I'm only looking at the document for the final presentation reflection. The preparation and expectations. I prepared for my final presentation mostly by just reading what my presentation had inside of it before I presented it. So the night before and the day of, I took time to read it and make sure I had my points familiarized in my head so I wouldn't have to look at the screen too much. But also it came pretty naturally to me just because the topic I chose was cars, and I am a bit of a gearhead, you could say. I love cars. I spent so much time and unfortunately money on cars. So it came naturally to me, and I practiced and I studied for it. The aspect of the final presentation required the most preparation or attention. Definitely presenting my information. All of my knowledge on cars and the history of cars has come through like partial chunks of learning this and then this and then this and putting it together over the years. So it was kind of hard to be prepared to explain it because it's sort of just a jumble in my head. So I had to put it all into a form where I can explain it to people and they understand what I'm saying. Of course, I did research and learned new things along the way, but that was my biggest struggle. My goals from my midterm presentation reflection, I don't believe that I did a midterm presentation reflection, so you have to forgive me, please. I don't have much feedback for that one, of course. Delivering the final presentation, my experience, it was pretty good. My classmates are really supportive. So even though I get up there and I feel anxiety and I'm worried to stumble or mess up my words, it's nice knowing that the people in our class are very supportive and helpful. Of course, unfortunately for you, some people still talk during presentations. There's people talking when I was doing my presentation, talking to their classmates. And honestly, that kind of helps me a little bit, thinking not as many people are looking at me. It's kind of the worst when someone's just looking at me like head on whenever I'm presenting. But my experience was good. A little bit of anxiety, a little bit nervous, but I feel like I did okay on it. And then the grade you gave me, I feel that also reflects that I did okay. Presenting with visuals and the research impacts your comfort level in delivery. Well, it wasn't hard. I would say it was not too bad working with visuals, like showing my pictures and my charts and whatnot. Easy to explain because I knew what was in there, and again I looked at it over and over, so I could understand what I was looking at, and that makes it way easier for me to be able to show it to people, of course. The parts of my presentation I felt the most effective was actually one of my charts. One of my charts showed the sales growth in North America of vehicles, and I was able to explain it really well. And I feel like a lot of people in the class paid attention when I was explaining it and could understand what I was saying. Moving a bit quicker here because I'm running out of time, but the audience feedback or interaction impacts your presentation delivery. I thought it was really nice that some people asked me questions after. Helpful, of course, in my confidence. My classmates effectively integrate visuals and research. Why or why not? My classmates did amazing. I have not much bad to say. I had some classmates who didn't have much confidence in the speaking, talked very quietly, but I can't judge them too much because, of course, people get nervous and people get anxiety. But if they worked on their confidence and they worked on displaying what they had better, would be great. So my classmates also engaged with the audience really well. I thought a lot of them did better than me, honestly. They were asking questions to the audience, and they were like getting answers and then replying to those answers with things that are in their slides, so they anticipated what people were going to say. It was really impressive, honestly, with some of my classmates' presentations. I feel like my oral presentation skills developed in a positive way. I still am anxious to present, but definitely way less anxious now. Working with more mature people, and most of my classmates are older than me, and speaking with adults instead of like high school, it's a lot easier. I think that my oral presentation skills really got better with this course, and I can really appreciate that because it was something I always struggled with. And I plan to continue to build my oral communication skills by applying my knowledge I learned in this course, of course. I do know that there's a communications 2, so I hope to learn in that as well. Maybe you'll be my professor. I'm not too sure. That would be really great. But I hope to I hope to take more classes like this and be able to improve my communication skills. It would be really nice. In my future career, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I work in IT now, and I like what I do, like end-to-end user support. So, I mean, I do use oral communication when I talk to people over the phone and stuff, and I get good positive feedback from my clients about my customer service. But presentation style, I don't really have to do many of those, but if I do, I'm going to use things like I learned in this course, like practicing memorizing without notes and reading without reading off the board. That would be really helpful. So I'm so sorry this ran on 2 extra minutes. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much for listening, and I will happy holidays. Thanks.